What's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in today's video. If you're somewhat into farming or you just want to watch a kid get some stuff done around the farm, you're in the right place. All I ask for you guys to do is, if you like the video, give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out and push my content further for more farmers and people like you to see it. It really means a lot to me. Thanks, guys. So this week we have a lot of busy pig work we got to get done. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done with the pigs, and then also just stuff that needs to be done inside the buildings, not really have anything to do with the pigs themselves, just really kind of some maintenance things. The first thing we got to do in these barns is we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull all the rump pigs, the bottom 10% out of all the pens that we have. I already did that in the south building, and I got all the pigs pulled that looked like they weren't getting started as good and all that stuff. I'm gonna do the same thing that I did in there and here, and I'm just gonna be looking for some pigs that don't look like the rest. So I'm gonna show you guys what a bottom 10% really generally looks like. You know, there's some that look better than others, but for the most part, these guys aren't the best looking pigs, and that's just the reality of getting any group of pigs, is you're gonna have about 80% of them that are average, that, you know, do okay, they grow decently at the same rate and all that, and then you have 10% of them that grow at a rapid rate and their just genetics are insanely good. And then you have the bottom 10% that, you know, their genetics aren't as good, or they're just not eating like the rest of them, or they, you know, get sick or anything like that really stunts their growth and throws them off the right track. And that's the pigs that we really want to get out of there and put in a different pen for some special care. As you can see, this one's actually not doing as bad as the rest, but he's still kind of rough. He's a rough-haired pig. You can kind of see his hair's a little rough. His, you know, his tailbone's showing a little bit. You know, that's a good sign that he's not eating the way he should. And if, you know, if they're generally skinny and you can just tell that they're not eating like the rest, that's a really good sign. That's what I'm really looking for, is those skinny pigs that I can tell that their bellies aren't full and they're not eating. And that can just be a reason. That can just be them being sick. That can just be them not eating because they, you know, they just don't want to, or that can be them just getting bullied and everybody else is pushing them out of the way when they try to go eat. There's many factors that could really go into that, but it's good to just get them pulled and put in a pen. That way they can hopefully get on the right track. Number two is we got to vaccinate all the pigs that we pull. There's a lot of misconception on vaccinations, and I haven't really talked about treating pigs or anything on this channel yet because of just how much misinformation and how much people are just totally out of the loop when it comes to why we vaccinate pigs, how many pigs we vaccinate, all that stuff, and I'm going to talk more about that in this video. Third thing we got to do is we got to take out all these brooder heaters. We've got rid of all the brooder heaters in the first room that we got pigs in, but we haven't got them out of this room. They're not needed anymore. The heat, they have enough heat, so, and they radiate enough heat off themselves, so they're getting bigger, that they don't really need these. So we're going to take these babies out and put them in the shed. Fourth thing that we really need to get done, and this is not as a big a priority as all the rest of the stuff. This will probably be one of the last things that I do. But if Cole the Corn Sawyer watches this, he'd be very disappointed in me. But when I was going through the power washing stage and all that, I kind of didn't clean up my mess very good, and I'm not as organized as Cole is. Cole does a very good job of being an organized farmer and keeping his stuff cleaned up. On me, on the other hand, I struggle with it. It's one of my weaknesses, I would say, is organization and keeping things really, really tidy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up all these water bottles, all these paper towels. I'm just gonna clean up this workroom, get it nice and tidied up. That way it just looks good and I feel good about it, and it keeps things organized. So I really got to do that as well this week. So the main four things I want to accomplish this week: get all the rump pigs pulled, get them all vaccinated, clean up the workroom, get it all organized, and also pull those heaters out so I can stop running into them and they're really just not needed anymore. So that being said, I'm gonna get right into pulling pigs and filling up all these empty rump pens. So I also got a GoPro, guys, so I'm gonna be strapping that to my head quite a bit for these videos, so I can really just show you what I'm going, you know, what I'm doing, because I can't really use this camera when I'm in there pulling pigs, but I got a head thing that I can attach to my head, so that would be really cool. I'm excited to try that out, so you guys will be able to see me pulling pigs as I'm doing it, which is cool. So enjoy that. All right, so I just got done putting them all away. I got a bunch in here. I don't have an exact count on all of them. I'm gonna count them here soon, but I have all these pins filled up. 1, 2, I got 2 on this side. I also got 2 on this side. So I got 2 pins, I got 4 pins of rump pigs in here that I pulled from both sides of the building. I'm glad that's done. That's kind of a more tedious job, and it's kind of a booger because them guys run like hell when they see you, and they do not like getting picked up. It reminds me of playing football or anything. You need some hand-eye coordination to really do that and chase down a pig. It's kind of like chasing down a chicken. So I'm glad that's all done. I got them all put away, and I'm gonna feed them quick. I'm gonna vaccinate all these guys tomorrow, all the pigs that I pulled. I'm gonna give them a shot tomorrow just because I did a lot of pulling today, and that was very tedious, and vaccinating them is just as tedious as pulling them. So I think I could just, you know, split my work up into 2 days, and that would be pretty effective. So in the meantime though, I'm gonna get these heaters out, and I'm gonna start on cleaning up the workroom today. Let's get to it. We got her done. Now that that's done, I have them all piled up here. It's really, really cold out, and I'm gonna just wait till tomorrow to really get these outside and put it back in the shed, just because I really wanna work on getting this room clean, this workroom clean. So that's what I'm gonna work on right now, is getting this work clean, getting all this trash picked up, sweep this all out, and call it good. Driving. So where we left off yesterday is I was cleaning this workroom, and then it kind of cut off, and the reason it cut off is because I ran out of space on my memory card in the camera. As you can see, I got almost all of the shavings and bedding out of here and sweeped up, and I also picked up a lot of the trash that was on top of our, you know, work desk. It's not really a desk, but we just kind of made this board right here, nailed it to the wall, and put a spring on it so that you can swing it down and up, whatever you want to say, and works pretty well. Keep all our records and all that stuff right here. But got that all cleaned up, and obviously it's not perfect. It's not, you can't just lick the floor, it's so clean, but you know, you still want it to be a workroom because it is a workroom, but you also, there's no excuse for it to look the way it did look. So I'll take responsibility for it, but I'm glad it's cleaned up and it looks better, way better than it did. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, we got the heaters out, we got the pigs pulled, and we got the workroom decently clean. Now it's time to move on to vaccinating some pigs. Before we even get started on shooting pigs and giving them shots, I'm gonna really touch base on just vaccinating and giving shots as a whole. The first thing I really want to touch on is every pig in here will get vaccinated. And what I mean by a vaccination, I mean, it's just like humans. We get a tetanus shot, we get a flu shot. The same thing goes to prevent diseases that otherwise, if we didn't get those shots, we'd get those diseases. Same thing goes here for these pigs. There are certain viruses that these guys could get. If I didn't give them a vaccination, there's a pretty good chance these pigs would get sick with those viruses. So we give every single pig in here one vaccination. And that just helps with a bunch of different diseases that otherwise, if we didn't give it to them, they would get it. Another big misconception, I think, is people think us pig farmers just overuse our medicine. We just shoot everything possible. When every time we see even the slightest sign of anything, we just give it a shot. And that is not the truth. That is not the truth at all. I am telling you guys, the first thing I like to do is I like to pull the bottom 10% of pigs out. The pigs that look the worst, that I can clearly tell are not eating, that are sick, and I like to pull them and I like to put them in a pen just like this. You guys just saw me do that in this video. You guys just saw me do that. And why I do that is I like to separate those pigs out, and I like to put them in a pen, and then I know these are the pigs I need to give a shot because these are the worst looking pigs, and these are the pigs that aren't eating and aren't looking the best like the rest of them. Other than that, we don't really go through all these other pigs and give them shots unless, you know, they're sick. If they're sick and they're starting to look crappy, I tend to pull them and put them in one of these pens, and then I give them a shot. I don't just go through and just shoot everything possible. We do not overuse our medicine. One, it's expensive to overuse your medicine. Medicine costs money, guys. So we don't like overuse it. We don't want to overuse the medicine. And two, it's just not needed to shoot all the pigs. If all the pigs got sick in here, which does happen, pigs do get sick, and if the whole building is really not feeling well, that's when you put them on water medication. And you just put the whole building on water medication, and that really helps with all the pigs, because that does happen. A group of pigs that you can get can just be all sick. Another big misconception I hear and see is a lot of people think that we use growth hormone in our medicine or in our feed, and that is just further from the truth. I have never even used growth hormone. There's no growth hormone in our feed. I've told you guys the bag feed that we use is just for taste. It's tastier, that's why we use it, because it entices them to eat more. Another really big misconception is a lot of people think that there's a ton of antibiotics in their meat, and there's a lot of just, you know, medicine and all the stuff that we give these pigs to keep them healthy, that it's in your meat. And that's not the truth, because these medicines, just like the medicines you take at home, they're in your system for a certain amount of time depending on the medicine you take, and the same thing goes for pigs. And every medicine's different. Every medicine has a different withdrawal date. Some are 28 days, some are 14 days, some are 45 days. So you gotta be really conscious of when you give shots and what kind of medicine you give them, because every medicine has a different withdrawal date. So as a pig farmer, we do not give really any shots when they're older, because we know they're gonna be going to market, and you can't give them anything because then there will be antibiotics in their system. So, and I'm pretty sure that's against the law to even do that, or it's against the code of the company we work for. So when we go to market these guys, we do not give them really any shots because we don't want anything in their system when they do go to market. So you're really not having any antibiotics in your meat, because by the time we give these shots, that's why we give these shots now. That's why we pull pigs now. I also just really don't get people's mentality of, well, I do get it, I guess. It's back to what the point I just made, is people think that all the antibiotics that we give these pigs stays in their system the whole time, and that's what you're eating when you put it on your plate. And it's simply just not the truth. But it really just frustrates me that people would rather have me, as a pig farmer, walk through these pens every day and look at this pen and just never give them a shot. If I never gave these pigs a shot, I'm telling you, about 95% of them would all die. And that is the reality of it. So for you to really say, yeah, they shouldn't give any shots, they should give no antibiotics, because there's just antibiotics in it. You just don't know your facts. You don't know the facts at all. And you don't know you step in my shoes for a day. You don't get to see them being sick every day. You don't get to see them suffering, being sick, and if I were to never give them a shot, they would stay that way. So that's why I give shots. And I've talked about it previously. We give shots to the bottom 10%. We really focus on the bottom 10%. And obviously there still will be some pigs that fall back. And then when they do fall back, we pick them up and we put them in a pen. So we put them in rump pens just like this. So that's all I got to really say about antibiotics, guys. I know that was kind of a lot, and I haven't really touched on it on this channel yet, or at all, but I just really am passionate about showing you guys what actually goes on in these buildings. I just told you guys all about antibiotics, but there's just a lot of myths out there and a lot of misconception that, you know, we overuse antibiotics. We don't know how to use antibiotics. We don't keep our pigs clean. They're really, really dirty. We treat our animals like total shit. We abuse them. We're horrible caretakers, and these buildings are terrible for them. They want to be outside, and it's just not true, guys. It's just not true. Those are a ton of myths out there, and I'm trying to show you what actually goes on and how us pig farmers truly are. We take pride in doing this stuff the right way, guys, or else we wouldn't do it. And it's also really annoying that we're looked down on as farmers when we're trying to really do the ultimate deed to the world by feeding the planet, and we just get all this backlash of not knowing what we're doing. And you know, it's just annoying. It really is. It's frustrating, but I'm trying to shine light on and showing you guys what actually goes on, and what we do to do it the right way. That being said, I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna vaccinate these pigs. I got 8 pens to do total today. I don't know if I'm gonna get to all 8, but I really would like to get at least half done, so get all these pigs in this building done, and then tomorrow I can hit all the pigs in that building. So let's get to it. So as you can see, guys, I got them all shot. And here as well. Boom. Boom. I'm gonna do the rest of the pigs in the other building tomorrow. I'm gonna split it up into 2 days. All right, guys, so today is gonna be more of the same. We're gonna go into the south building right here, and we're gonna shoot the last of the rump pigs that we got left that didn't get a shot yesterday. I got all the north room shot yesterday, like you saw, but I got these two 1,200 rooms I gotta shoot, and there's 2 pens in each room, so it should take about the same amount of time. I'm gonna just start with that to start off my day, and then after I'm done with that, I'm gonna make sure everybody's got feed and water and everything's good like that. All right, guys, I just got done shooting all those pigs. Everybody, all the runts are shot, and hopefully they can get back onto the right track like the rest of the pigs in these buildings. So far, all the pigs' health has been really, really good besides those pigs. And like I told you guys, I've told you guys many times, it's just that bottom 10% that's just inevitable. It's just gonna happen with every group that you get, especially when you have 8,000 pigs spread out into 2 barns. You're gonna get some pigs that are not so good, and that's just the reality of it, and you gotta do your best to get them back on track, and that's one of the ways we do it. Give them some shots, give them some bag feed, and hope for the best, you know? Do all that you can as a pig farmer to really help those pigs get along the best way you can. And a lot of them come out of it, but you know, some just end up not coming out of it, and that's that side of it. So what we're gonna do to start off the day, this is the last thing we got to do this week, is we're gonna grab these heaters. We're gonna load them up before I do anything else. I'm gonna load these babies up, put them in my truck, and then I'll shut the door, and then I'll chore, do everything I need to do in here, and then when I go to leave to go to the other site, I'll just drop them off in the barn, and we'll be done in here. And then this whole we will have accomplished everything we want to accomplish this week, and everything will be good. All right, let's go to the shed. I'm probably just gonna leave you guys in here to do this because it's super cold and snowy and wet and just not good for a camera. If I had my GoPro, I'd put it on, but I don't. So pretty much we have a bunch of 2x4s hung to the wall of our shed on the side, and we have nails driven into them, and the top of every single heater there's a hole, like an inch round hole, about a hole this big, and you can just hang that, you can just put that hole right on top of the nail and it just hangs there. So yeah, we have a bunch of them hung up already, but we're gonna hang this second bunch of them, and that should be it. So all right, so I got all the heaters hung up and put away for the next time that we need to use them. We can come back and get them. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know it's the worst time of the video, the end. If you guys liked the video at all, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out, pushes my content further for more people like you to see it, and I would just really appreciate it a lot. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notified every time I post a video. I'm dropping bangers every single week. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Don't forget to have a great day. See ya.